All right. Let's see. How are we doing? How are we doing on the viewers? We got 18 people tuning in already. Oren, we got VLC. How you guys doing? What's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon and also good evening, depending on where you're tuning in from. So, today we're doing a Saturday Q&A. Usually I do these Q&As on Sunday around this time, 12 p.m. And today we're doing an open floor Q&A, not just for the students, but also for the broader community. I did mention in the live stream on Friday. I don't know if you guys can recall. I spoke about this Q&A, and I did ask you guys to come with a few questions. So the way how these go down, you can ask anything. Of course, day trading related, right? When it comes to metrics, psychology, trade style, trading questions. I mean, anything really, right? So you guys can be sure to let me have it with these questions. I'm going to check out the Discord here as well to see if we have any fresh questions coming in from students over the last couple of days. Let's see here. Um, let's see. Okay, so there's some questions coming in from Jimmy. How frequent can a student meet with a mentor for a one-on-one session? So the way how it is right now, technically you can do it unlimitedly, but we are going to change the structure pretty soon. But the way how it's been going, we'll meet with a student and usually they'll apply the information and the knowledge and then meet back with us after a few days or a few weeks. Sometimes after a week or two, they'll meet back, ask for another session. But the way how you schedule a session, it's done via the Discord. You can DM us and we'll let you know our schedules, right? For me, I'm primarily free after the live streams between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. market time Eastern time. And so in that time frame there, it's where I usually do my one-on-one sessions, uh, either 30 minutes or 1 hour, depending on the student and how much time they might need. We can do video call or we can do audio call, depending on how you want to do things. You guys know me, I don't mind being on the camera, so I'm usually down for the video calls. But yeah, in that 30-minute or 1 hour time, we address any questions, concerns that you might have. We share our screens. You can share your screen as well, and we can go through from there. Um, let's see. Does MMU have a student learning accountability program to ensure that student is taking the steps to grow his or her knowledge? Right now, we don't have that type of structure yet. I mean, it's something to definitely consider, but the way how we always have it here, or let's say the way how it's been here, is that once we do the sessions, once we do have students reach out, it's almost like a college class in a sense where, as the adult, you have to have that responsibility. And whilst we don't mind, really catering to some students who might need like extra help, we also want you to be, you know, self accountable, right? That self accountability, because at the end of the day, whether it's trading or something else, if we're not holding ourselves to a certain standard, then it's just not gonna work, right? It doesn't have to be trading. That could be with any business, or even just with school in general, right? You know, whether there's people who, I mean, we've all been to classes, right? We've all been in college. There's people who've been like skipping classes, people who might not come to lectures. They're not doing the homework assignments. So once we're here and we're available, and especially if we're reaching out and then it's no feedback, or let's say no response kind of thing, it becomes a little tricky, because we can see on our side who's done what, and there's been people who bought the program and never opened it, like, despite us sending them emails and messages and these. So it's one of those type of things, right? I can pull this over here so you guys can see what I'm reading from. This is from the chat room. And I can also take some questions from YouTube. I know Zay and a couple people are tuning in. How you guys doing, by the way? And also hit that thumbs up as you're tuning in. I'll come over to the YouTube channel to take some questions here so that you guys don't feel that I'm leaving you out. And then we'll come back over to the Discord. When will Tim take a bigger part in MMU? So, Tim right now has a different business besides trading. Tim does epoxy and pressure washing. And so, it's this thing where, he loves trading, he loves working with students, but right now he's somewhat limited because he also does the other business. Like he has partners. I think he might have made a few videos on this like a few months ago talking about it, but like and you guys can ask him to share some pictures in the chat room. Like they have this huge truck, water tank in the back, and I mean what they're doing there down there in Alabama, man. Shout out to Tim. So, but that's the reason why he's not able to do a little more in the community, is that he's also doing other business. Yeah, and he loves pressure washing too. So shout out to Tim. And I can pull up the YouTube comments here too. Hold on. Let's see. Pop out chat. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. There it is. So Tim, Tim's desk may not be able to take it. How are the guests trading? Are they picking up any great insights from the group? So I'm guessing you're referring to the students, Bill. You know, it was a good time. I mean, we didn't get to do as much studying as we would have wanted to do. The way how some of these team house trips will work, it goes so fast. I mean, the days are flying by, and before you know it, it's like, okay, boom, time to go. So if you're not familiar, we don't live together, right? What we do, we meet up every few months. We meet up every few months or few weeks at a location, and we hang out for a week or two. We want to do a longer one for a month straight, but it's going to be a little tricky to pull it off. But that's the plan. We want to do one for like a month straight. But yeah, in the couple of days though, we definitely had one-on-one conversations with the guys. They're great traders. Shout out to Daniel, Dominique, great traders, and their heads are really on. Are very disciplined as well. So the number one thing that I saw and that I told them is sizing up. They're doing a great job. They're sticking into their wheelhouse in terms of what works every day, but I think they need to put a little bit more size behind it. And once they've started doing that, right? Seeing the guys and how they're trading, being in that environment alone is so encouraging. Seeing a guy like Save take 25,000 shares, saying, "Hey, I'm long," and we can hear his we can hear his computer. Thinkorswim gives you that chime as you're getting filled. For us, it gives you one chime we're in. His computer is like keeps chiming for like 5-10 seconds. It's taking 100,000 shares. So even being in that environment motivates all the rest of us to take a little bit more share size. So I think over the next few weeks, next few months, that they'll continue to do better as I continue to put a little bit more size behind the trades. Pastor, brother, you gotta stop leaving so early. That stock yesterday. Yeah, I was. Don't worry. When I leave, I don't really leave all the time. Like most times, I'm still here. SERV, I do think I could have made like big money on it, but sadly, it was one of those stocks that was restricted with margin. And I can pull this up. Actually, can I? I can't. I can pull it up. Hold on. Give me a second. I gotta go to white screen here. I'll be back in a sec. Okay. All right. I'm gonna screenshot this and put it in the Discord. I don't need any accidents here. Okay. I really don't like to sign in and out of things whilst I'm on the live stream. That's why I kind of like pull up that white screen. Even then, I'm still always a little paranoid. So this is the message. Okay, that was not a great picture. I guess I did zoom out a little bit. But anyhow, this is the message that you get when you trade a stock like SERV yesterday. It's not 100% marginable, which means our accounts essentially turn into cash accounts as we trade a stock like that. For me, whatever amount of money you have in your account, let's say for me, I'm above PDT. If I have 30 grand in my account, I only have 30 grand to trade the stock with. It's a $5-6 stock. If I take 1,000 shares 5 times, 6 times in and out, I'm basically out of trades in just six times hitting the buy button, sell button. So I gotten this email when I traded stock NXL in June 21st. I didn't realize that stock NXL was not 100% marginable. So if you receive 3 of these letters, 3 of these strikes, your account is gonna be frozen for 90 business days. So on a stock like SERV yesterday, I have no choice but to not really trade it because my Thinkorswim account would be restricted after 2 more strikes. Now there are options like other brokers, and primarily I have Guardian and I also have E-Trade. Now E-Trade I prefer to use because I can still be able to use market orders. Guardian is going to be limit orders only. Now my E-Trade account, which is funded, sadly, I made the mistake of putting all my money into my cash account at E-Trade and not my margin account. And I did trade through my entire balance. I was wondering what the heck was going on. So I called in. They're like, hey, your money's in the wrong account and it takes a day to settle to then transfer over. So on Monday, I have to switch my balance on E-Trade back over to margin. So when a stock like SERV comes, I can just trade away. I mean, even if there's a strike on E-Trade, I mean, I don't really care. If that account goes down for 90 days, it's not a problem, right? But yeah, let's take a quick question again from the MMU section, and then we'll come back to the YouTube side. And I do always tell myself to be a little quicker on answering the questions because, I go on for too long and then I kind of get backed up. So in the MMU halted stock Discord channel, are these alerts that get updated in this channel real time? Yes, those alerts are real time. So shout out to one of our students and good friends, BMac, who was able to hook us up with this. So whenever a stock gets halted, it immediately populates in here in the Relentless trading chat room, like right away. It gives you the time, the price, the float, and the reason that the stock was halted up. Also, what the expected resumption time. So if you're paying attention to these halt plays, if the criteria matches up, you don't have to go too far. This is, of course, this particular channel here is only available to our students. It's one of the perks that they'll have when they do join our community. So we can jump back to the Q&A section here. RT, you should record our one-on-one mentorships and upload them to the MMU website. Yeah, this is a great point, actually. This actually is a great point. And I do so many of them It can be a great section. In fact, this is something I think we should do, right? Yeah, there's no reason to not do this, especially if the student doesn't mind like being on camera. So we took a quick question there from the chat. Let's come back to the YouTube stream. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Shout out to Zay. Zay, how you doing today, man? Paul Lewis, we discovered that stocks usually don't run up until RT shuts it down. When is Crispy and Save archives coming to MMU? Crispy and Save are a little bit more private these days. They're not super big on looking to like join MMU or to start up anything. They're kind of more just independent traders right now. We're good friends. We're all good friends, so we hang out and stuff, but they're kind of more low key with what they're doing, and that's fine. Crispy, I gotta go meet up Crispy maybe next weekend because he wants to race me, right? We got our new cars, and by the way, shout out to the car section in the Discord. We got our new cars, and Crispy wants to race me. Now his car is faster than mine, but right here, Crispy's car is faster than mine, but I'm gonna tune my car pretty soon. One of these weekends, I'm gonna go do it. and I'm gonna get up to like 600 horsepower when I'm done. So he has an M4 competition. It's a coupe. It looks pretty good. I have an Infinity Q50 Red Sport 400. So right now I'm gonna do have like cold air intakes and some other stuff, but maybe I'm around like 450 horsepower. But my car does have more weight. So once I tune, then I'll be able to really give him a good run for his money. But anyhow, shout out to Crispy. Save also I don't know if Save posted his car in here, but Save has a nice car as well. I don't know if he did. As you guys can see, we have like a wide variety here. I mean, and this Corvette, I mean, just looks lovely. And here I go again, getting sidetracked with the questions and taking too long. Okay, an SF, man. SF got a nice car. I think a Subaru. Hold on. Man, that sounds good. Okay, back to the questions. Back to the questions. What share size are you committed to taking if the stock presents itself with good opportunity? So yeah, this largely depends on the price, Daniel, right? If it's like a cheap stock below $1, then for sure I'm using it so anywhere between 10,000 and 15,000 base. Sometimes maybe a little lower, 7,000. But on the aggressive side, like 20,000 plus, 25,000 shares for stocks between, and that maybe goes all the way to like, let's say like 150. Stocks around 150, it's not that uncommon for me to take like 15,000 shares or less. But once we start to get up to like 250, $5, I'm more around like 8 to 10,000 shares. And above 10, it's rare that I go for like 6,000 shares. But sometimes I will, like, it's been a long time really since I sized up like that. But I will, depending on the momentum and the spreads. Like SERV, that's the type of stock I'd have been using 10K size on for sure. It was just too smooth and the spreads were tight. I really think, man, I really think I could have done well on that one, but it's all good in the neighborhood. What's the sweet spot in orders per day for hyper scalping? Well, before the transition to Schwab, we could not go over 350 orders a day. Oh, no, 390, excuse me, 390 per day. But after transitioning, it doesn't seem like we're receiving any warnings. So people have been going up to 500, 800. Honestly, however many orders it takes for you to well, let's not say it like that because that could be degen, that could be breaking rules. But whatever feels right, right? I mean, for me, I'm around 300, sometimes five, depending on the stock, the day, the amount of opportunities. If it's a day where I'm doing well and stocks just keep coming, then I'm going to keep trading, and maybe I finish with 800 orders versus a different day where it's a slower day and I finish with 150 orders, right? So it just kind of depends on the momentum and how frequent we're getting opportunities. Let's see, RT, I've been doing well since beginning of year one. Well, beginning of year, oh, okay, since the beginning of the year, 1K a day, pretty much consistent. I always blow up my gains with one trade. So, Lewis, is this a problem of averaging down? Are you doing well? I mean, to be honest, for those people who are in this type of situation, honestly, it's not a bad place to be in terms of like what you're capable of. It's like there's people, and I'll say this, there's people who are now starting to trade, people who are looking for mentors, people who sometimes might even be a part of a community like this who still have no idea what they're doing wrong, right? It's different for the students because they're following, like a guide, a blueprint, but there's so many people out there who they don't know what they're doing wrong. So if you're trading that well and one day is what causes you, then you need to really look at those days. So those blow up, let's say you just had 5 blow up days throughout your career. You got to study those days, and you got to see what goes wrong and what causes you to go off rail or to break a rule, whatever it might be. And once you can isolate that issue and find solutions to that problem, then you're on the other side completely, right? You're on the other side completely. So what you need to find whatever that problem is, and then put solutions in place. And then once you overcome that, you're in the home stretch. I mean, you should be highly motivated, to be honest, because you're already doing so much of it. It's just one last piece of the puzzle that needs to be refined for you to be smooth sailing, essentially. Okay, let's bring it back to the chat here quickly. Um, okay, let's see. I guess we can finish off Jimmy's questions here, right? Coming out of the market open, since it's so volatile with high volume on stocks, is it best to wait a few minutes for the volatility to calm down? I do think this is I do think this is a smart move, unless there's an obvious trend that the opening surge is working, and like we're seeing that into the first minute we're breaking the pre-market high and stocks are giving a big move. Because a lot of days, man, it's so tricky. Like the way how the spreads are big, the stocks they move so it's like they're on steroids almost in that first 2 minutes, right? And it's not that you can't get big winners, but the risk is so high, and the losses can come so quick. And sometimes for me, it's like I can start the day down 700-800 just in the first two clicks of the buy button in the first minute. And it's like, man, now I'm trying to dig myself out of a hole when I could have just been more patient. So, is the reward worth the risk in that area if there's not an obvious trend? Honestly, I don't think so. So, it might be best for us to be more patient, let the stock, form a bit of a pattern first before we get involved. Because the first few trades, if there's no obvious opening surge, we're trading price action only. And it's like we're not going in with all of our indicators when we do that. And so there's a little bit more risk, right? For a new student in the Discord, what channels are the best to learn from? Um, Honestly, all, but in terms of like traffic, the day trading channel is definitely the most high traffic channel. That's where most people are hanging out throughout the day, giving call outs, talking about entries and sharing. But I mean, every channel is good in its own way. You have the MMU team channel, which is more concentrated for students. Um, the profit loss channel, which is mostly like P&L. So you have the MMU team, that's primarily in here, right? Mentors and students. And if you come over to the general chat, it's a general chat, right? It's like you're gonna see stuff like this, which is a beautiful setting. Is this like a wedding or something? I don't know. Or lots of tourists. Um, but yeah, if you come on down, the P&L section is gonna be people primarily sharing their winners and losers, so you can see how people's day went. And it looks like Kitty had a really solid day here, trading SERV, doing 16,000. Save 30,000 trading SERV as well. So we had some people who did really solid on this stock. But yeah, this section is just people posting their winners and losers, right? So it's gonna be a little difficult to really pick up any sort of like trading tips. Now you can definitely reach out to people and ask them certain things about their day and how it went, stuff like that. But yeah, let's come on back to the Q&A section. Let me just put a quick check here. We can jump back to the YouTube stream here and take two more. Guys, if you're tuning in, hit that thumbs up. If you're tuning in, hit that thumbs up. So let's scroll on down a bit. Let's see. Did I ever scalp futures or NASDAQ? The answer is no. Just strictly trades for me. Well, let's say small cap trading for me. Small cap trading. Momentum style. quick in and out. Uh, how do you manage money? Wait, how do you money manage your trades? I thought this was written wrong. That's why I kind of read it like that. How do you money manage your trades? Is it cash or percentage win or loss? It's for me, it's cash. It's cash base, and I'm risk first. So I always ask myself, how much am I willing to lose? That's usually the basis, and I do that to the extremes, knowing that the market at a very small percentage of the time could be irrational, meaning it could be an average Tuesday. I could be in a setup. The setup could be good, and the stock could flush down $2 a share. So whatever size I'm using in that moment, I've already assumed that it could be the worst possible situation right then and there. So when these flushes happen, it's like there's no real surprise. It's just like a little disappointment, but you move on. But yeah, I'm risk first, so I ask myself how much am I willing to lose, and that's a trade by trade basis as well. That also can help us with max loss, right? Relative to our account size, relative to what we're uh, willing to lose in terms of just comfort zone. Because you can have a big account but still not be willing to take on risk in a certain way, right? And even beyond that, um, mentally, there's like a limit that I have as well. Like, because there's days where I just, I'm feeling fine, but I'm losing, and it's like, okay, this is just getting out of hand. Doesn't make sense, right? So, and I guess that ties back into money as well. 2 months ago was down 28K on one trade, wiped my gains for a month. Yesterday down 11K on SERV. I short 98% of the times. Okay. So, okay, and this is Lewis from earlier saying that he does been doing well 1K a day and then has the bigger losses. So you're short seller, which I did not assume, and a stock like SERV continue to go higher. So you can consider tighter stops and a max loss right away. That's the first thing. Like I'm just seeing from the statement here. There's gonna be stocks that just goes right. I mean, whether it's like FFIE that went from like 20 cents up to $3, or a stock like SERV that goes from 4 to 9. There has to be a place where you say to yourself, even if you're feeling good still, and this kind of ties back to what I was saying just now, where you got to say, I'm just not accurate enough today, and I'm gonna walk away. And that dollar amount can be something relative to your account size. It could just be a number that you're not comfortable going past. Let's say, hey, if I'm down more than 3K on a day, no matter what, even if there's another stock that comes that looks good, or the stock that I was trading starts to move better, that you just have to stop. Because if you don't, you run the risk of going into a place, man, your mind can mess with you, right? Like this is what happens. And some of you guys will look at me, you'll say, Relentless, man, he's so disciplined, he's so firm. But it's because I had to learn the hard way. Like, you know what? There's nothing that feels worse than knowing you have this rule, making that decision to go past it, and then everything is going against you. It's like you start to feel twice as bad. And for me, this used to happen so many times with when a stock is going and trading like nonsense. Let's say the stock is trading like nonsense, and I decide to stop, and I say that's it. And it starts to open up the moment. It's like the market is waiting to get me. The moment I say I'm not going to trade the stock anymore, it starts to just fly. And in the event that I try to trade it and I do bad, mentally it's like I'm like devastated. So on some days when that's happening, I just have to shut it down and leave. It's kind of crazy to say, but it's like that's the risk for me because everybody's different, right? You have to know yourself too. You got to be self-aware. If I know that in that situation I could go off rails and be out of character. I don't even want to give myself a chance. So if a stock starts to take off and I'm already at my max frustration, I don't care if that stock is going to $100 with the cleanest trades. Because if I try to trade it and I don't do well, that could mean me going to zero, just like that. So you got to put that line in the sand that no matter what the market tries to do and entice you, you're just not gonna cross the line. You're just not gonna cross the line. So coming down. So again, Lewis, just think about that max loss and a number that you don't want to go past. How quick is Save in and out of trades? What kind of share size? On some of his trades, he's in and out just as quick as I am. On some other trades, he's holding a little longer. On some of the bigger position trades, he's looking to buy a little lower and give the stock time to curl up. I mean, you guys have saw me recently. I did say one of the adjustments that I needed to make in this market was to hold a little longer towards a more defined stop, because I found myself getting in the right area, but then exiting too soon and missing the move. And so you guys have noticed me holding a little longer just recently. So the difference is that if I'm in with, let's say, 1,500 shares, a guy like Save is in 15,000 shares. So you're gonna be able to see like a much bigger difference in gains and losses when it doesn't work, right? But that's what it takes to be a great trader. And in terms of like money, in terms of like making a lot of money, you got to be able to stomach the risk, right? And in terms of just share size. My never-ending cold. Love the Q&As from Plato to Trader. Can I do a video? Yeah, I can do a video. I can do a video on the Schwab margin. It sucks that this is happening to us. I was wondering, right? I was wondering if all the stocks, because you guys remember there's stocks on Thinkorswim with TD before the merger that was not tradable at all. Every now and again there'd be a random stock that we couldn't trade. I was thinking, what if those stocks were actually non-marginable, and maybe that's why they were restricted, but I never did the research into it to be able to tell. But it seems like now they're allowing us to trade it, and there's this good faith kind of thing that they're still lending you money, which is strange. Why are they willing to lend us money beyond our cash accounts? You know, like Tim said, he traded 2.7 million shares. If you do 2.7 million shares at like the $7 price or whatever it was, it's like, he'd have to repay, he'd have to credit his account like $16 million to just give them back that unsettled cash, you know? I mean, what this made me realize is how much money we use on a daily basis. Like on an average day, millions of dollars is passing through our accounts in terms of just buying and selling. It's kind of crazy. And it also, like, there's different ways you can look at what we do, right? If you look at it in that way, the percentage of return of what we make versus the amount of money we use is extremely low. It's like terribly low. Like I my account is, my account, I can't say how much money's in my account for like security, but my account is over PDT, and this is a $7 stock. And it's like I clicked the buy button a few times, I'm out of money, and here I am up $100. Now, I wasn't trading the good areas, but still, I wasn't trading like the big massive inclines, but still, like, you're telling me I couldn't make more in that couple of trades. So, you know, it's all good though. We can always snipe entries and take a few trades a day, but that's just not our style. Like, we'd have to adjust to that. That's not our style. So let's see here in the chat. At market open, my Thinkorswim application cannot enter into a trade. At market open? Really? 6:31. And I'm guessing different time zone, Pacific. Um, well, if it's not before, if this is this into the open? 6:30? 6:30 should be into the open, right? Yeah, 6:30 should be the after the open. Might have to call in for this. If it's pre-market, then you have to make, I think there's if it's before the open, I think there's a small agreement you have to sign, and then on the brokerage itself, when it comes to time and force, you gotta go to, let's see, so time and force, we can do it right here. Where's my TIFF? Is it not up here? TIFF, time and force. Okay, maybe I need to enlarge it. Is it up top? Okay, it's up top. I'll just pull this down. Yeah, it's like right here where it says time and force, right? And you can always click the gear icon on your active trader. So make sure your active trader is popped up, populated. You can click the gear icon. If you're not seeing it, you can add it to the list to make sure it's up here. But you can change your time and force from day to GTC underscore EXT, right? I think this is for pre-market and after hours, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta brush up on it. I mean, it's been so long since I like looked at this stuff, because nowadays, on DAS, I have in the active trader, is it like plus? I forgot what it's called. It's like, yeah, I have day plus, which indicates for pre-market, intraday, and after hours. So I just, and I have the offsets and everything there. But yeah, call in to Thinkorswim, Jimmy. Call in and ask them like if there's like a restriction on your account that's preventing you from buying and selling within the first minute of the open. Um, let's see. How do I add the following to my chart? Is this the previous low and previous high? It's just this script. I gotta find this script from Marcelo. This particular script, I have to ask Marcelo to send it to us. Um, let me write this down because I'll have to message him after. I actually don't have mine up anymore, and I don't want the one that I have, so I gotta get this from Marcelo. In fact, I'll send him a quick text. The mighty. How to actually add it, and why is this? Why is the heck is this up here? In terms of actually adding it to the chart, I actually can't remember. Set it, not settings. Is it study? Edit study. I have to play around in here for like a couple of minutes to remember how to do this. Maybe one of you guys in the stream can tell me. I believe you do it as if you're adding a study or something like that, but it's been so long since I've even messed around that stuff. Sometimes this is how it is for me. I gotta like play around in there for a little bit. Send me the script. And also send it to Jimmy as well. High, low, previous candle. You guys can see I'm very, I'm a little rough around the edges. Like I'll take the time right now during the stream to send Marcelo a message so that I don't forget. That's how we do it here. Okay, coming back to the YouTube stream. Let's see. Let's see. do I foresee BRK stock to continue? Guys, when it comes to, predicting large cap stocks or anything like that, I have no idea what these stocks are gonna do, what these indices or an index are gonna do. You have to use your best discretion and of course do your research, right? Dynasty is in the building. What's up, bro? What's up? What's up? Let's see. RT, please. What specific info in level 2 slash ladder chart are you looking to consider at the exact moment you decide to buy? Um, well, it all starts with the pattern, and there needs to be a good setup first, right? So let's look at a stock like SERV. Now, we can buy as a stock is going higher like this, of course, in which case we'll probably looking at the baby pullback where there's this dip without a red candle because we had a high of 472 but a low of 451. There's no red candle here, but what this is indicating is that the stock did pull back. And so primarily, I want there to be some sort of pattern, but then beyond that into the level 2, can there be tight spreads? That way the market order is more efficient. But let's say it's a dip. There's two entries. There's gonna be a dip or a breakout. Regardless of pattern, there's gonna be a dip or a breakout. If I'm looking at a dip, primarily I'm watching at the tape, and if there's a lot of selling and the red is accelerating, I want to see that slowing down or stopping. And again, if the spreads are tight, this can ensure that I can just mark it in right away and get a fair fill. If the spreads are big, then I want to use limit order, try my best to place that limit order as the tape is slowing down or stopping. And sometimes this can be at an arbitrary level or it can be at an actual level, maybe like the pre-market high, or maybe an EMA, a moving average, something like that, VWAP, right? Or a double bottom, triple bottom, like for example right here, right? Like if I'm watching this stock real time during this type of area, like, okay, the first time it comes down, we don't know it's gonna come down to 535, but the second time it comes down here twice, third time, like even this time I could be in right here. I could be in at the lows here if the level 2 doesn't fake me out, because I mean that could happen too, but assuming it flushes down and the tape starts to slow down here and the spreads are tight, then I can buy and be in around like, between 35 and let's say like 42, which is fairly close to the low, and then, watch the bounce. But all right, the level is already established as 35, and as this comes back down again, if it's a slower pullback, if it's a pullback, it's accelerating down, it slows down here in the tape. That's gonna be another place that I can jump in again for the double bottom. And other than that, to the breakout side, um, and actually before I move on, if there's a spread, you want to keep your eyes on the ask price as well, because that's gonna allow you to know if you need to limit order in and not mark it, because if you mark it in, and some stocks you can't even limit because it's so fast, even if you're using offsets, it's so fast that you're probably not going to get filled. But if you mark it in, and I fall victim to this quite some time, before you know it, the ask price is 30 cents higher and you're in 30 cents higher on the ask versus where the entry price actually is, right? And then you're getting blazed because you're in it like 50, the lows is at 35, and your risk is just thrown out the window. And in that situation, I just sell immediately. Just whatever loss it is, it's okay. But okay, to the breakout side, let's assume we're coming up here for high of day over here. On the tape, I want to see an acceleration in green, like buying at, and this is what it really means, like in terms of the mathematics, the science. Green on the tape is people buying at and above the ask price. So if people are buying at and above the ask price, the stock should go higher in theory. So if there's an acceleration of green on the tape in a level like this, then the stock should go higher. And likewise with the red on the tape, which is selling at or below the bid price, if sellers are slowing and stopping, we're more than likely bottoming, right? That's like this, the science behind the tape between the red and the green. So the pattern needs there needs to be some sort of pattern. If not, it's just straight price action trades, which we do at times, but usually we want there to be a pattern that way there can be more accuracy. Right here there's a false breakout, but it did go all the way to 691 before coming down. 650 was the 1 minute candle to make the new high. But yeah, hopefully that helps out. RT live on a Saturday. Yeah, tonight, I'm usually I'm usually more of a homebody, but tonight and tomorrow, the pastor is gonna be outside, brother. So we're gonna do an early Q&A. You guys might see me in the clubs, man. We're gonna be outside. Mm, yeah, hopefully on Monday we get something good. I mean, it's been a slow. These few weeks have been pretty slow for me. I can show you guys my trader view. Where is it? Did I delete it? Did I exit out? Looks like I did. Trader view. Trader view is just doing too much with these updates, man. It's like they're just taking a good platform and just like, what is all of this nonsense here? Where's the login button? Gosh. Is this the wrong one? Trader view. Like this has been our last 30 days. It's been some slow trading for me here the last few weeks, right? We did have this big $2,500 red day, which sucked, but part of the deal. But this has been the last 30 days. If we look between this month and last month, from June, what's today's date? The 20th. I'm never really worried about this stuff though because I know how much money we could make when like for example like the nonsense that we're seeing right now. SERV, one of the better stocks since like MLGO, it comes along and then it's not tradable. Like come on, right? This has been since June, from June 1st to now. I mean this is it's not bad, but it's below my yearly average here right now by a decent amount. It's like almost like a 50% drop off. We're at like 10K a month pace right now. Um, but yeah. So yeah, okay, take it easy. Some of you guys are heading out. Take it easy, stay safe, stay green. Hope you guys are doing all right. Enjoy the weekend. We can head over to the Q&A again section in the Discord, and then we can wrap it up. So once again, Jimmy, check in with TOS. Call in, and I can send this message here too, just in case it doesn't watch back the entire thing. I can type out some of this stuff at the end. What's the one-on-one plan for the MMU site? Will it impact one-on-one for the MMU Diamond members? Yeah, so right now what's really been happening to us is that we've been getting flooded with so many not Q&As, but one-on-ones that it's hard to keep up with, right? Because as you guys know, MMU is growing, right? We're a pretty small community in the beginning, and now it's like it's getting a little bit bigger. And so we're finding that in a day there's not enough time to get in all the sessions, and to prevent frustration, to prevent people from getting upset with us, we're creating like a new system for it. And so for the Diamond members, it is going to change, but we think it's going to be a good change, right? So we're gonna have more details coming out soon. We're gonna have more details coming out soon. Also, I'm gonna show you guys a sneak peek of the next vlog. Just the first like minute, because it's gonna be out. It's gonna be out tomorrow. How many people do we have here? There's 33 people. Guys, hit the thumbs up. This is a sneak peek into the next vlog. All right, maybe I put this up here. I can put on the audio. All right, here we go. The new day trading team house.
I got you, buddy. I got you. That's 2.5K.
12K.
4,800.
Marcelo.
1,062.
Oh man. Shout out to the guys, man. Also, shout out to Kitty, who is a great editor, by the way. You know, Kitty, man, I tell you. Kitty's a good editor. Shout out to him. But yeah, that's a quick sneak peek into the vlog. It'll be out tomorrow. I should have a video coming out today as well. Maybe we'll see. But that video is gonna cater to like beginner traders and like new members to the community, but we'll see. But man, Tim RKOing me into the pool for some content. Why the heck did I agree to that? Crazy. I'm gonna send Jimmy some messages here after this live stream is done. Just in case he doesn't get to see this video, he knows we, messaged him. But yeah, we don't have as many questions here. We've been answering so many questions in the one-on-ones, the Q&A section itself. I guess we can show it some more love, right? I mean, anything you guys want, you can ask. But yeah, we've been covering a ton of stuff in the one-on-ones, and people are also utilizing the brokers too, right? Because there's been a bunch of broker questions, but there's nobody best to answer those questions than those representatives. So they've kind of indirectly been taking some of the questions as well. Should be this one. Is this the script Zay? Shout out to Zay, man. Zay. Shout out to Zay. I'm gonna copy and paste this into it. But yeah, I don't know if we have any more questions. I'm gonna upload this video right now, and I'm gonna put it to be released tomorrow at 9 a.m. So if anybody wants to check it out, that's here now. You can feel free. But no more spoilers. No more spoilers. No more spoilers. The Miami day trading team house vlog coming out tomorrow at 9 a.m. So stay safe, stay green. It's been a nice Q&A session here. Just about an hour, actually. Let me double check if there's anything else coming in, and then we can shut it down here. How did you get started in the day trading career? Believe it or not, I can show you guys this. How's this gonna show on screen? This right here is my Rutgers University ID. So I was a college student before I started trading, studying accounting, and my brother, I have a sibling, right, who's also been interested in trading. He saw a video of either Tim Sykes or Ross Cameron, one out of those two guys. I don't know for sure, but anyhow, he brought the video to me, and he's like, "Do you really think this guy made 10 grand in a day?" For us, we were shocked because we didn't know that this was possible, that you could make that type of money without owning a full-on brick and mortar business, being some sort of high-level doctor or engineer, lawyer. So initially we checked it out and we started doing our research. We watched free content on YouTube, but all the big YouTubers, we already mentioned Sykes, Ross, Humble Trader, all these people. But over time, it was a matter of just, locking in. We heard about momentum trading. You got guys like Ross live streaming. You got, psychology videos from guys like Clay Trader, right? Like Clay Trader, so many people. But before you know it, you start to realize more and more how real this field is. And it's like we became immersed into it. Like for me, it's to the point where I'm in school. I'm in the university here, right? I'm in the university, and I'm watching videos on trading. That was like the day that I kind of realized, like, man. And I was in school just like doing it because, hey, go to school, get a job. I was studying accounting only because 97% of accountants, or let's say graduating accountants at Rutgers, would get a job within the first 3 months. It's the only reason I chose that uh, major, that field. I was literally just doing it because of like money and pay and like job security. So when I came across trading and actually was like loving it, that's what really made me dive into it even more. And what I did was very crazy, which was to leave my at a 3.7 GPA, which means I was having straight A's, to go study in a simulator. Very daring, very risky, but I did it anyways. And part of why I was able to do that is because I had a great support system, and people who believed in me, so that was a good thing. Because if not, there would have been none of this. You guys would have been inside of some sort of Tim Sykes chat room right now, or Humble Trader chat room, or somebody else. Maybe Marcelo would have been doing this or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's how I kind of got into it. Um, how do you manage to keep your winners large and your losses small? Well, a lot of this is going to come down to risk management. And there's multiple ways in which we manage risk. Um, this is a question that has. I mean, this is the type of question I have to really think about for some time, because there's so many ways we manage risk. And like right now, off the top of my head, I'm kind of like not. It's funny enough that I'm kind of drawing a little bit of a blank, but it managing risk is like integrated into everything that we do, every decision that we make. And some of the harder things are things like max losses, understanding yourself, understanding when you're frustrated, when you're tilted. These are things that can prevent you from having big losses. But even beyond that, and here we go, right now I'm flowing. Beyond that, there's stock selection, understanding what stocks are good to trade for your style of trade and your strategy. For us, we want high volume stocks, tight spreads, limited downside risk. The stock must have some sort of, whether it's a breaking news or reason to go higher, um, a good pattern, all of our indicators on the level 2 for the actual entry. Like all of these things will limit our risk, because we understand that over time, this is what gives us winning trades. And it's why we don't like to deviate from the strategy, because when you deviate, you're in uncharted territory, right? So this is all part of risk management. Um, Besides that, determining share size that's appropriate. Also, asking yourself how much you're willing to lose. Always having a stop in the trade. These are all components that go into why we have tighter losses and bigger gains, right? My biggest green day is 26,000. My biggest red day is like 3,000. Um, I have P&Ls on my recaps that say minus 10K, but I'm not actually down 10K. It's more like uh potential gains that I missed out on, or maybe a little bit of clickbait too, but All those things are part of the system. Wow, RT did what? The pastor. School is not about being smart. Um, yeah, I had a 3.7 GPA, but I don't think I got to give myself credit. I don't think I'm a stupid person by any means, but getting the best grades is not about being smart or the smartest. The guy in my high school, and shout out to John, right? If we were to say just straight up intelligence, John was that by far the brightest, had the highest SAT scores. But guess what? John was failing almost every class. Why? John didn't I don't want to use the word lazy or anything, but you could say distracted, not interested in priorities. His priorities were not into doing his homework assignments. Priorities were not into, you know, participating in class. But if you ask him to write an essay, if you ask him to take an exam, especially if he prepares for it, nobody's gonna get a better grade than him. The ACT, the SATs, whatever exam, he's gonna do the best on it. But the guy is failing all his classes. It's about effort. Effort can definitely make you look pretty bright, right? The valedictorian in my high school, shout out to her. She was the person that just put forth the most effort. She put forth the most effort, and she got the best results. And that's what school or any other discipline is about, right? Putting forth effort and making adjustments. Trading, we have to put forth effort, but we also have to make adjustments, because you can work very hard and not get the results if you're not making a change, right? You gotta It's like you gotta also be able to work smart, and you gotta be able to see things, judge yourself, and then make adjustments, make changes. I've been trading since like 2019, since, well, 2018 really. That's like 5 6 years now. I've had like breaks in between, so it's like almost like 5.5 years. Jake Paul versus Mike tonight. I did see there was like a standoff online, but I didn't know that was tonight. Um, Jake Paul is like the villain right now. This Mike guy, I don't know him at all. I gotta put my money on Jake, man. Jake, I'm not too familiar with Jake. I'm familiar with the other brother. I know of Jake. I know a little bit about his work, but I'm more familiar with the other brother. Um, but man, what I will say about these Pauls is that whether you like them or you hate them, they know how to do business, man. They whatever field they go into, they're killing it, man. They're doing hydration drinks, they're doing podcasting, they're doing boxing, wrestling, MMA, whatever else. I mean, they're killing it, man. And I do know they live in Puerto Rico, so they're very savvy when it comes to taxes. I mean, they're complete individuals in that sense right now. They're doing their thing, man. They're doing their thing. It took me 2 years to become profitable. What advice would you give yourself if you have to start trading all over again? I would tell myself to go into a simulator sooner. I think live trading definitely played a role in me having like understanding and being able to take the simulation seriously. So I think I would have still live traded for a little bit, but I would have wanted to go into the sim sooner. And I say that because I don't know how my experience with the simulator would have been if I just did simulator only. Because we know a lot of people have the issue of not taking the sim seriously, and which, I did have that problem in the first week of trading in the sim, but the simulator was a blessing for me, man. My live account got hit by the PDT. I was taking 3 trades every 5 business days. which is a very slow pace, slow rate to learn. Got into the sim, started hyper scalping right away. Like I still have all my videos on YouTube. Like there's a lot of videos that are privated, but like I still have videos of me hyper scalping since 2019, 2018. Like I still have all that stuff there. I just have to click a button and I could put it public. If you guys want to see them, I mean, fair warning, my mic was terrible. I mean, I look back at this stuff, I can't believe that it's me, but you know, I'm not ashamed of it. I wouldn't mind posting it again. If you guys want to see it, just say the word. And you can see me hyper scalping in 2018, 2019 as a young buck, learning the game. But yeah, shout out to all the big YouTubers, man. You know, the guys like Ross Cameron, you know, Tim Sykes. You know, I watched a ton of content from these people, man. Humble Trader, great videos as well. Someone who I love and I watch to this day is John at Beginner Trading. You know, right? He doesn't do day trading as much anymore, but he does market data and like economic news releases and things like that. But John is a good guy, man. John, you know, great family, great trader, always consistent on YouTube. And I spoke to him a couple times in the DMs, but you know, if I'm to go in his area, that's somebody I wouldn't mind meeting, man. He's a cool guy. We went to Traders for a Cause. I don't have pictures on my computer. I have everything on my phone, but I guess I can send some videos to the channel, some pictures. You know, I was supposed to do an interview with this Be the Story guy, who is also cool, but it didn't work out because unfortunately, when he was in town, you know, I didn't see my messages, and I don't usually get messages on Twitter, so that's kind of what happened there. But Be the Story, you know, I watched a few of his podcasts. I mean, his podcasts are great, right? You see, I'm the most transparent trader, so I don't mind, you know, letting the people know, you know, what I've watched. In terms of books, I never really read books. I have a few books, but I never really read books. I've more so watched podcasts, things like that, articles. Like I'll never forget the day that Ross Cameron made that like 200K on GameStop in pre-market. That like I saw that day. Like stuff like that is like insane, man. Like it's crazy. Pre-market trading, you know, up 200K in one session. Man, most impressive indeed. Tim Sykes is more like psychology now. Like, I don't think he's trading as aggressively like before back in the days. But you know, it's the internet, right? I'm trying to find the pictures with Humble Trader, and I have a picture with her and some of these other people too. The Sphere in Las Vegas, they gotta put a better show for that thing, man. The Sphere is complete nonsense. Well, the Sphere is great. What they're showing in there is complete nonsense. They need to put like a Star Wars or something in there. Here's the algo and be the trader. Here's strong trader. I'm sending all this stuff to the Discord right now. Here's humble trader, myself, Will. And okay, I think that's good enough. There's some other people too, but let's see, Discord. Be the story. Be the trader. Okay, yeah, here's be the trader. This is strong trader, not as big as some of the other guys, but pretty cool person here too. Strong trader. And then humble trader. Humble Trader is like very very tiny. You have Calamity and Spartan from the Discord, along with the Pastor. Funny story, Humble Trader and Marcelo took the same flight back to Canada, and they had a great conversation. I think they sat like next to each other or something like that. Small world, huh? Right? Small world. But yeah, maybe I think this is it. Wait, hold on. I'm about to go to after this video is done, I gotta go to this hat store because I don't plan on cutting my hair for the next 2 weeks. It's gonna be a rough ride. So I'm gonna get some hats because you can't go out looking crazy, man. Mighty is in the building. Marcelo, man, I was just telling them that you sat next to Humble Trader on your flight back to Canada, and you guys had a great conversation. Who knows, man? Maybe one day MMU is gonna be buying out Humble Trading, right? I mean, who knows? And anything is possible. Let's see. Ross is a good teacher. Helped me understand candlesticks. Yeah, Ross is one of those guys that's like an OG, man. He's an OG, original gangster. That's what that means. He's an original gangster. She can stop making single jokes. Wait. How do you control yourself while in trades, like not exiting out too early? Well, remember you need a trade plan because we trade so quickly sometimes that it might seem like we don't have a plan. But we always have a plan, right? We're looking for a profit target and we always have a stop loss. And there's ongoing variables and indicators that can help us to exit a trade early for profits or exit early before selling comes in. So it comes down to first having your plan and then actively managing the trade as it goes along. And it's okay to have fear, excitement, anxiety. Those are normal human emotions, but at the end of the day, we also have to be fierce. And so, part of that means even though you're feeling that your heart is pounding a little bit, especially if you're sizing up or something like that, that you're still going to treat the trade the same. It's not easy, but it's also what's necessary, right? And the best traders in the world are putting their emotions to the side, muting their emotions or suppressing their emotions and taking on those great trades. And that's the motivation I like to use. And there's different motivations, but there's no way I'm gonna let some guy somewhere in Nebraska, some guy somewhere in Tennessee, some girl somewhere in California take on 5K shares, 10K shares, and their heart is pounding, but they're still having a trade plan, still having a stop loss, still actively managing the trade. And I'm gonna be here in the corner shaking and not trying to do the same. Like whatever you need to motivate, like whatever it is that you need to make you do what's right, that's what you got to do. Whatever motivation that is, right? So for me, competition. I mean, there's just no way. There's just no way that I can allow myself to not push harder, knowing that that's what's going on. Like, some guy in upstate New York is taking the same setup as me, and suppressing their emotions, right? That right there motivates me to do better, right? So even for a guy like Ross Cameron, right? If this guy can trade GameStop in pre-market and can take all 25K shares and be up all this amount of money, if I accept the risk and push hard, Me too. It doesn't have to be on GameStop in the same size or something like that, but it's relative, right? For my situation, that must mean that on a stock like SERV, I could take 10,000 shares in a key area and actively manage the trade, right? And so we don't ever want to compare ourselves to people in that way directly, but more so looking at them for motivation and encouragement, which is what our team house is, the Discord, that's what this is. And that's what I am for a lot of you guys, right? You're going to look at me as like a benchmark. It's like if Relentless Trader can be here and can be firm in this trade, like, man, there's so much, sometimes you'll hear so much noise, right? Like people can say anything, but as long as you know what's going on up here, this is why it doesn't matter what obstacle is thrown our way. Like tomorrow they could come and say anything, right? It doesn't matter what the obstacle is. Like if you're willing to be disciplined, if you're willing to excel, to push forward, it doesn't matter what roadblock is there. We're just gonna blow it up with dynamite and just keep moving, you know, upwards and onwards. How do I stay disciplined to follow my rules when things are going bad? You know, the endless, well, let's not say endless, but the multiple times in the past where I broke my rules and had to learn the hard way has taught me valuable lessons, right? And it's forced me into being more disciplined over time because I did not like the way that I felt in certain situations. And we have to be willing to take time to accept what happened, walk ourselves through what happened, and then put things in place to make adjustments. So when you go through like a situation, whether you blow up or something, it's not time to just sweep it under the rug and try to move forward like nothing happened. You have to reflect. You have to go back and like watch the events like play out to see where you went wrong and what you're gonna do differently next time. If not, you're gonna do the same thing over again, and then you, this trading you can fall into some dark places, man. And if you do the same thing again, it's like you're gonna go a level now deeper into the darkness, another level deeper as a spiral. You're snowballing. You have to fight. You have to fight against that that instinct sometimes that like makes us do the wrong thing. And again, a lot of that is just planning. You know, planning and also accepting that plan under that rational mindset. You know, it's one of the reasons why I don't average down is because I talk to myself in my meditation and I walk through different scenarios of how bad it could be if I do go ahead and do something like that on the wrong day. You have to simulate these things in your mind so that you know what it is. And for the people who do this as part of their strategy, like if that's what they're doing, then they must know that at some point it could ruin their trading, like indefinitely, right? So yeah, we don't want to be insane, right? We don't want to make the mistake, come back, do it again, and hope and pray that things just go differently. You have to plan and you have to prepare, and not just prepare to win, but prepare for if it doesn't go in your favor, so that you don't panic, right? And I'm saying this right now, but how many people who are watching right now, right? How many people who are watching who are in different stages in their trading that are going to go and meditate and plan, right? How many people are going to ask themselves, you know, if they get caught into certain scenarios, how are they going to react? What are they going to do to minimize the damage? What happens if tomorrow on Monday, right? Let's say on Monday, you're taking a good setup, your risk is 15 cents. You blink and you look back and the stock is down $3 a share going into a halt down. what are you going to do in that situation? Like these things, I'm not, and we can't plan every single thing. We're not perfect people. Sometimes you do have to live and learn. But we're in a field where loss is inevitable. We're in a field where losses are guaranteed. So when somebody says cry, but we're gonna get caught, man. We're gonna get caught into rough trades, but it's how we react to it, and it's about the decisions that we make that's going to give us the longevity at the end, right? Making the right decisions to cut the trade and to push forward, to smile and to move on. But Mighty, take it easy. We're also getting ready to head out of here ourselves. Trading is hard, but sometimes as the individuals, we can make it harder than it needs to be. And I've done hundreds of mentor sessions. I've talked to many of people just in private conversations. And there's so many people who are close, but there are certain things that are holding them back. And in this life, we do have to move at a certain level of pace. This is something that I'm trying to also implement outside of trading more and more. Like we have to move with speed, meaning the moment we recognize an issue, right? Especially if we have the means and the capabilities of making a change, like we have to work fast because unfortunately with life it seems like things just keep on happening, right? Like problems or responsibilities, risk, it's just going to keep coming. So the issues that we have now, we have to move fast in solving them so that moving forward, at least we have a clear slate and we're in a better position to take on any more risk that comes our way, right? So if you notice you have termites, right, in your house, and you have the means of fixing it, you have the cash reserve, you have the savings, and you have to replace a key beam or something. If you know that you're living in this place and you plan on living there forever, then you got to do what you have to do quickly and not prolong, right? And so the faster we move, the better it is, the quicker we can move forward, and the more refined we can be ultimately as traders. So for those of you who know the issues that you have to work quickly at solving them. And the quicker you do that, the faster you'll be where you need to be, right? And that goes for outside of trading too. So for me, it's some of the personal things that I'm doing. I also got to move a little quicker, right? Because these things, they just keep coming. They don't stop. It's life. Adulting, right? So we smile in the face of adversity and we push forward. So take care, stay safe, stay green. Tomorrow the vlog is going to be out. I'll show a sneak peek once again, the first 30 seconds, and then we'll shut it down and we'll get out of here. There should be a vlog from Tim's perspective too, I believe, at some point. And Marcelo's perspective. The new day trading team house.
I got you, buddy. I got you. Up 2.5K.
12K.
4,800.
Marcelo.
$1,062.
Sabe? Save, brother. All right, that's gonna do it for the Q&A. This video is gonna be up on YouTube tomorrow at 9 a.m. if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, stay safe, stay green. I'll catch you guys later. I gotta send some messages over to Jimmy so he has some clarification on everything. And I'll see you guys later. Stay safe, stay green. It's been RT, and I am, of course, signing out. And remember, guys, be careful of the fake accounts. I will never message you first. I do not use WhatsApp. I do not use Telegram. And I do not invest for my subscribers. So be careful of fake accounts. There's a lot of fake accounts out there on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so forth. We're banning and blocking them every day, but they're continuing to create fake accounts over and over. So watch out and stay safe. Now hit that thumbs up on the way out if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys next time.